Hello, my name is LeSueur, and this garden that I have been working on for around 2 weeks, I have spent a lot of time working on this. And this is May the 5th, 2020, and I'm here with my sister Gina LeSueur that's taking a video. My mother has not seen any of the work that Beth and I have done, but other than Beth sort of telling me and helping me to tell how deep things are, I have been working on these two ponds with a creek. So this is not going to look very graceful, but I want Gina to take a video of how deep this hole is that I'm digging. This pond that I hit my cane next to is around 2 foot deep, and this pond liner that I have is around 7 foot wide by probably 42 inches in width. So this has been on a hill, and I have got a picture of my brother coming and taking a photo when I first began this project. But I'm going to pull the pond out, and I want Gina to take a video about how deep this hole is. Last night I was working on this after dark, and I was sitting in this big hole by myself, and I'm going to get down in it. I was in this big deep hole digging with my shovel, and I've been working on this area. Last Friday, Beth went to go have her fingernails and toenails done, so she left the house at about 7 o'clock. Well, at 9:15, and it was already dark, I was out here working on this hole. So I've been working on this for about 2 weeks, just this part of this fountain. So I told her friends and family at the wedding that I went to on May the 2nd at French Broad River that I had to quit working because it got dark. Yes, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how does a blind man do this? Well, I have a 2x12 that's going up this hill that I put my rototiller next to, and I just followed it going all the way up that hill, and I have 2 iron stakes of when I laid out this garden on each side to dig this. So I've been putting this big old huge pile of dirt there because I'm going to use that in to fill it back in. So I don't know when this is going to work. The thing about living where I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, there's many rocks, so I'm trying to take the rocks out and so forth. So I'm going to let Gina finish taking another part of the video, and I'm going to explain the other part of this pond that's under construction. So the way I get around, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, unless I walk sighted guide, is I have various sticks. This is my Cadillac cane that I use when I do things. So I usually use a broom handle or something like that. I have many sticks because I am completely blind, but God's able to let me work with this. My mother, Carol LeSueur, and Gina, and my other sister, Gail, they both have the same love of flowers that I do, and of course Beth does. So what I did is I've got shutters here because I'm going to replace my shutters on my house too. Beth and I picked out a really pretty forest green color. So these are my old shutters. So what I'm using to those is for me to stand on when it's muddy, because I'm working out here doing all this work when it's muddy. And so it's been great to work on this project, so I'm gonna walk up this hill. What I did when I was praying about this is I was hoping that God would bring me somebody that would enjoy the same love of landscaping that I have. So I've met that person in with Beth. And so Beth and I have been thinking about how to decorate this area. So I'm going to walk up here to the beginning pond. So what I've done is, through trial and error and just working, I may not be the exact place that I need to be, but I found the pond. So what I do a lot being blind is I rely on my hearing. So what I did the day that my brother came over and saw all this, and that was on April 21st that my brother came to visit me. So I was up here on this hill by myself, being totally blind, using my rototiller. So he walked in my gate and he could not believe that I was working on this by myself. So since that April 21st, I have done all this other work. From digging this pond is ready to be put in, and what I do is I get my rototiller and my shovels and all the dirt that's up here along this fence. I'll eventually get my rototiller and I will flatten out all this ground, then we'll put pretty flowers here. So the first thing that I did when I was creating this 3 pond with 2 creeks is I dug this little, took this pond liner and I dug this out. Then I got my rototiller and I started down there at the bottom of the hill, and that's probably about a 25-foot creek that's going to be here. This is probably about a 60-degree angle. And of course, again, I talk about being blind. I want to be inspiring to all my family and friends around the world. So I have had dreams and thinking about how to do this. And so this is still not completed, but there is a creek that I will be working on. I went to Home Depot and I bought the liner. I use a 20 milliliter liner. If I said that correctly, I bought a 20 liner to build the creek. So I got my rototiller and I said I have a 2x12 that I put there to help me just sort of go straight. I didn't really want it to go straight down, so I sort of made it at an angle. So in my mind, I was thinking about how this would look, because when I went to UT, I took architecture classes and we were taught to look in our mind to think about how things are created. And yes, I did all this being blind, no help whatsoever, other than Beth saying, I think you need to put the pond here after I dug the hole. So to complete this, when I get finished digging out all this, that I will buy sand at Rural King. They have the cheapest place sand there is, and I'm all about saving $1 and saving discounts. So this whole bank that you see as Gina takes the video will be decorated with mulch, the Ground Smart Mocha mulch that's rubber, made out of rubber tires. All that will be on this whole bank with various flowers from potpourris to gardenias. And over here to my right, and of course I don't have the pond liner yet, but I'm sort of walking over here. And folks, this is what I do. When Beth goes to work to be an RN at Fort Sanders Hospital, I do everything I do by having a stick. And of course today I've got my orange cane that I'm using. So I do all this from my thoughts and thinking and with Beth's help. So I'm going to eventually put a pond right about this area, and I'll be digging out. It looks like a 4-leaf clover, this big pond that I'm in the process of getting. So I will eventually dig this hill out, and then I will have a pond, you know, from the pond, and it will go down a creek, sort of the way I'm moving my cane, and it'll all fit in that big pond down there at the bottom. So, you know, a lot of my Facebook family and friends around the world have asked me to build ponds and do all this work, but this is something that I have done for coronavirus. No, I don't have a mask on, and I've just enjoyed God's beauty. There's many beautiful birds that are here. Beth and I have put up bird feeders and hummingbird feeders and lots of different things. So this garden, we will do a future video of when I have more progress. May God bless you.